I'll quickly jump into Trailbreaker. Like all companies, I'll be making forward-looking statements. So all this information is available on the website. Maybe take the time and check that out. My name is Daithi Gearailt. I'm the president and CEO of Trailbreaker. I'm a geologist. I've been working mostly in BC and the Yukon for the last 15 years. And Trailbreaker, I'm lucky to have a great board and management team. It's mostly made up of entrepreneurs and CEOs and geologists. You might recognize Ewan Webster. I think he's doing a talk here as well for his company Thesis, and Dylan Hume. He's our VPX. He's been leading the charge for Trailbreaker for the last couple of years. I'll quickly jump into the numbers. We're a pretty young company. We've been around since 2019, 2020. We have a market cap of about $16 million. We have a very tight share structure, and we're lucky to have a group of strategic shareholders kind of headed out of Belgium. They own about a quarter of the company. They've been very supportive and have a very long-term vision for the company. So that's been a great asset, which I think has also been reflected a bit in our share price and how well it's sort of weathered the last couple of years. We're well funded. We have a cash balance of about 1.7 million, and today we're trading somewhere around 38 cents, so about halfway between our 52-week range. I don't have a lot of time to jump into things, so I'm just going to glaze over a bit, but we have about 8 projects in the company, and I use a kind of a pipeline model where we build projects up and move them up the ladder all the time. But today I'm just going to touch on Etsuotla and Liberty. Those are the projects we'll cover. So where is Etsuotla? It's located in northern BC. It's at the tip end of an area of exceptional geology, known to host some great deposits. And it's in a part that we've coined the discovery gap, sort of halfway between Dease Lake and Atlin. And for various reasons, it seemed little, if any, gold exploration. So we decided that's where we should go. We went there. We've staked 40,000 hectares, so it's a big project. We've covered 2 large intrusive bodies, and we're bound to the north by the Teslin-Thibbert fault system. That's a fault system that's known to host gold to the south, down towards Dease Lake, and it hosts gold to the north as it goes into the Yukon. But like I said, it's had very little exploration here. We looked at a lot of the history for the area, and we found a couple of sniffs and reasons why we thought that there should be gold there. And to date, we've got 5 great gold zones on the property. It's too much to cover, so I think what I'll do is I'll sort of split it into east and west. We'll call the east Swan, which is one of our main zones. And on the west, I'll just talk quickly about highlands. So at the Swan zone, it's a gold-rich copper porphyry target. It's a big, beautiful gossainous mountain. You go out there, you take some rock samples, and we started quickly seeing a lot of gold grades. We were consistently getting grades over 10 grams per ton gold with silver and with copper. There's a lot of samples. I'm not showing all the samples, of course. But that gave us confidence to do a big soil geochem survey, which we did. We got a big multi-element geochemical anomaly. So we continue going. We did an airborne magnetic survey. We did radiometrics. We did ground IP. And we brought in mappers who mapped in classic sort of porphyry alteration. And what that did was it gave us multi-coincident anomalies, very much in a textbook porphyry model. So that project is now drill ready, and most importantly, it's fully permitted and ready to go. If you can remember the first map, we jumped now 26 kilometers to the west on the same property, and we hit highlands. Again, just to remember, there was no gold ever found on this project. There was no gold samples or nothing to follow up on. So Today we've got an outcropping vein at surface. I've picked this picture just to sort of try and drive home scale and grade. It's that the front there is 250 meters in the cliff wall, and then it goes to the back. We find what looks like the same vein system, or the same vein, about 550 meters to the east, and we see it again about 70 meters in the other direction. It's got a lot of great samples. I'm not showing all the samples. We have lots of samples on this. And even the 630 grammer that I'm saying there, that's an average of multiple samples that we took just to confirm grades. We sent to different labs, and that's the average of the samples. It's a lot of fun to go there. It's a great place to go. It's a great place to do property tours. You can quickly bang some rocks and find lots of visible gold. So it's a lot of fun. Some of these samples are actually at our booth. If you want to come by and talk to us a bit more in detail, that would be great. I'll quickly jump in here to Liberty. Liberty is it's a copper porphyry project that we've put together. It's located about 110 kilometers north of Tasiko's Gibraltar mine. And it was first looked at, the area was first looked at in 1969 by Rio. They drilled kind of south of where we are. There was a high-grade copper skarn that they took a look at, but they recognized at the time, it was around when Gibraltar was found, and they recognized this area had the potential to host another Gibraltar. So they went and took a look at it. They drilled a number of shallow drill holes. They tested the skarn, and they walked away for various reasons, but copper prices tanked in early 70s and probably had a lot to do with it. And they, like I said, they drilled a lot of shallow holes and bottomed in mineralization, which is maybe these days you wouldn't walk away from that. It was held for a long time until we picked it up. And this is kind of what it looked like. I'm sort of showing sort of historically. We've only had this since spring 2024, so we picked it up in a very affordable deal last year. And it was very much a postage stamp property, but it ticked a lot of boxes for a Trailbreaker. We didn't have any neighbors. It was in an area of great geology. It had a lot of cover and very little exploration. It had a good geochemistry anomaly, and it had resistivity and chargeability anomalies, and it was fully permitted, and it was sitting on a road. So we were like, we should test this. We put some holes into it, and we drilled consistent porphyry mineralization, copper porphyry mineralization. We bottomed in mineralization at 500 meters. That was the sort of the extent of our capabilities with the drill. But we quickly realized that the geochem that we were looking at was a bit of a red herring. So we decided to take a hard look at this. We staked a big tract of land. We've got about 10,000 hectares now. We did a big geochemical survey. We did a Z-TEM survey, and we did a large IP survey. That IP is about 13 times the size of the original. And from that, we were able to build a map, our geological map. And we have a big intrusive complex that's running north-south. And from that, we found 3 porphyry targets. I'll talk about P1 here. P1 is a strong chargeability anomaly. It's about 2 kilometers south of where we originally drilled. The geochemistry has been moved by the glaciers. If you put that back where it should be, it lands directly on P1. The original high-grade gossan located in the shear structure there, we see that as originating from P1. And then the sort of yellow hash is the low-grade halo that we were drilling in. And this is kind of better seen maybe in a 3D model, which I have here. So just to sort of sum this up, we've got the intrusive complex in the light green, and we've got a sort of block model here with the IP. P1 is the strong chargeability hosted inside the granite under cover that was never known before. It's 3 times as strong as the chargeability of what we were drilling, and it's never been tested. I'm also out of time. So If you'd like to hear more, please come by the booth, and I'll wrap it up with why I think Trailbreaker is a good investment today. We've got 3 drill-ready targets that can be drilled in 2025. All our projects are new. They all have discovery potential. We don't do rehashes. We're a strong team. We have the ability to do the work. We've got a tight share structure, loyal shareholders. We've got a clear path to build shareholder value. We're focused on gold, silver, and copper. We have a strong cash balance, and we have a continuous pipeline of projects. Thank you very much.